Cute as a cupcake. Where the cupcakes are more than cute, they're delicious. Get by Cute as a Cupcake in Northwest Indiana area at 2008 West 81st in Maryville, Indiana. And if you want cupcakes delivered directly to your door, you're going to go to www.cuteasacupcake3.com. Yes, www.cuteasacupcake3.com and have those delicious cupcakes delivered directly to your door. Cute as a cupcake. Where the cupcakes are more than just cute, they're delicious. Good afternoon, and welcome to the 800 Credit Score Man Show. I am your host, Kevin King. He is I, and I am him, the 800 Credit Score Man himself. And once again, thank each and every one of you for coming in and listening to the 800 Credit Score Man Show. I truly appreciate it. So what's up, everybody? I hope you guys had a fabulous Easter last week and a good week this week. Thanks for coming in and listening to the show. You know how much I really do appreciate it. So what are we going to talk about today? Today we're going to talk a little bit about building credit, and we're basically going to answer the question, do you have to go into debt to actually build credit? So we're going to answer that question today. Maybe it's a yes, maybe it's a no. If you listen to me, you know it's a caveat to almost any and everything. We are going to discuss that today, and maybe you'll get a pearl out of this that'll help you continue on your way to a better credit score, all right? So we're definitely going to do that today. I got to give a few shout-outs. Of course, I got to give some shout-outs. So coming up, Kiara Hillman, she is celebrating her birthday. I want to say happy birthday to you. Hazel Bacon, she and I share a birthday, so we'll be celebrating our birthdays on Monday. So happy birthday to you, Hazel. I got to give a shout out to Stacy Blakely as well. She's going to be celebrating her birthday, and I believe her Delta Sigma Theta anniversary is around the same time as well. So happy birthday to you, Stacy, as well as happy Delta anniversary as well. And Stephen and Natalie Harvey celebrate 15 years of wedded bliss. So I want to say happy anniversary to you guys as well. And like I mentioned, I got to give myself a shout out, right? So my birthday is coming up. Yep, April the 12th. On Monday will be my birthday. So shout out to the man that's been rocking with me ever since in the room, right? So happy birthday to myself as well. And if I didn't give myself a shout out, there are going to be some people that hit me up all the time and say, hey, man, why you didn't shout yourself out? So that's why I do it every year, shout myself out. So thank you guys in advance for all of your happy birthday wishes. On Monday, I will be celebrating. Well, I kind of been celebrating since yesterday. So I will be celebrating even more Monday through probably next weekend. I'll be celebrating. So hopefully, I'll be here next week so we can do a show as well, but I wanted to put that out there for you guys. So what else do we want to talk about today? Oh, let me give you this announcement right quick too. So on Tuesday, May the 4th, I'll be live on some platform or another. So still to be determined. Maybe it'll be a Zoom, maybe it'll be Facebook, maybe it'll be IG, or maybe it'll be all of them. You'll have a chance to ask questions as well. So we'll be doing that on Tuesday, May the 4th. Follow me. If you do not follow me any and everywhere. You can hit me on Facebook, 800 Credit Score Man. You can join the Credit Score Comeback group on Facebook as well. I'll be putting out that flyer. You can email me if you want to get information about this and you might want to join. Email me at 800@creditscoreman.com. Email me there so I can send you an invitation or a flyer, however this is going to play out. So let's do that. Email me 800@creditscoreman.com if you would like to join that live wherever it's going to be. And I think that's about it. So that's where we'll be on Tuesday, May the 4th. Again, follow me. You can follow me on Instagram, 800 Credit Score Man as well. And on Twitter, I'm at Credit Score _man. At Credit Score _man on Twitter. I will absolutely follow you back on Twitter. So you guys hit me up there. All right. And we got a good question of the day today as well. So let's talk about this. Do I have to go into debt to build credit? Now, the vast majority of people, if you ask them that question, they would say yes, basically, right? You got to, for the credit bureaus to go ahead and judge you, if you will, judge you about how are you doing things and what's your credit history looking like, what's your payment history looking like, you got to owe some people, right? So the vast majority of people would say yes. I agree and I disagree. It's never been easier, if you will, I'm putting in air quotes, easier to build some credit without going into, and I'm going to put air quotes on this, going into major debt. Going into major debt. So, no, I don't consider if you got to pay $10 of a finance charge when you use a credit card as going into debt. If you can't afford the $10 for a finance charge, then you don't need to be worrying about building credit, because if you get some credit, you're not going to be able to pay it back anyway. So I wouldn't consider that going into debt. So I'm not, for the extremists out there, for the ones that are, it's either black or white, that's not what I'm talking about. So I'm not talking about if you got to pay $10, you got to pay $15, you got to pay $2, and you're saying, hey, that's me going into debt. Those, I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about some major debt. If you got to pay $100 in finance charge, you got to go buy a car and pay thousands of dollars worth of interest and whatnot. Now that's major debt. That's major debt. 10, $15, maybe even $25. That's not major debt. Far as my definition of this, when it talks about building credit and going into debt for it. So, and there is a such thing as good debt. Now I won't go into it all on today's show, but I have in a previous show. And if you've ever listened to me, if you ever listened to more than 5, 6, 7, 8 shows, if you ever listened to those, then go back. Look for that show where I talk about good debt versus bad debt and then how it impacts your credit score as well. So anyway, here's some of the debt-free ways to build credit. Number 1, credit card. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds a whole lot like going into debt to me. But it's not if you use it correctly. Just because they give you the credit doesn't mean that you have to use it. Yes, if you get a credit card and there's a $1,000 limit, a $5,000 limit, a $10,000 limit, and you run it up to $7,000 or, whatever that is, yes, you're going to be incurring debt. But it's the way you use it. You use it. The credit card is not the problem. It's the spending that we engage in and the ability to pay it back that becomes the problem. So the credit card is absolutely not the problem. So obtain a card. Get you a card and use it exclusively. Let's say this. Let's say you get your card. Use it exclusively to pay for gas and groceries, and you pay it off at the end of the month. Then that's not carrying debt. You're not even getting charged any interest at all if you pay it back at the right time, right? There's no interest to it. So if you use it for your groceries and your gas or whatever else you want to, and you pay it off at the end of the month, then you're not incurring debt. Now, some of you guys that listen to me, you're thinking now, yeah, but you told us every now and then we need to leave a little on the card to make. Those are for specific situations. Yes, you might need to leave a little bit on the card, especially if you're newly establishing debt, establishing credit, and you just got a card. You might need to leave a little bit on there so it can all kick in and the credit bureaus can start to recognize you in that manner. However, that's not incurring debt doing so if you've got it. So if you pay it off at the end of the month, and every once in a while, maybe you leave a little bit on there, doesn't hurt. You leave a little bit on there and you pay it off the next month. And then again, you don't incur any quote unquote major debt. So it's simple. It's simply transferring money. In this particular example, it's transferring money from one place to another. That's all it is. So I wouldn't consider that to be building credit and going into debt at the same time. So it's when you buy things, like I said, that you can't afford to pay off at the end of the month, that you start to accumulate debt. If you get into that situation, that's when you're accumulating debt, but it's not always that way, right? So, yes, get you a credit card, utilize that credit card, but utilize it wisely. Utilize it wisely. If you're not sure exactly how to do it, you can always contact me, 800 at creditscoreman.com. You got a specific situation? I may not speak to your particular situation each and every Saturday we're here on the 800 Credit Score Man Show. So you can contact me. We can talk about this. So 800 at creditscoreman.com is where you want to email me. All right. Another thing that you can do, and you guys know what's coming, is authorized user. You can be an authorized user. I won't beat this dead horse. You know what it is. Now, if you're new to the show, I'm going to tell you now, 9 out of 10 times, if you listen to more than 4 shows, I've mentioned authorized user. So I won't talk about it in any kind of detail today. I'm sure regular listeners are tired of hearing about authorized users. So go back, listen to some shows. I give painstaking detail about what an authorized user is, what do they do, how you get one, how does it impact your credit score, all of those things. So you go ahead and do this. But I will say this. I got a question yesterday asking if the authorized users other credit, if the authorized users, the person that owns the card, if their other credit goes downhill, but not the card that you're attached to, will it hurt your credit score? The answer is a resounding no. You are only tied to the credit card you are on. So they can get their house taken, they can get their car repossessed, etc., etc. But as long as it's not the credit card you're on, and they continue to pay it on time, then you're in good shape. Now, I'd be concerned, personally, if their credit starts to crumble if I was you. So if you're on that card, you know that their credit is having an issue for whatever reason. Maybe you even know what the reason, they lost their job, whatever it is, and their credit starts to crumble around you. I'd be absolutely concerned if I was you. It would make me think that it's only a matter of time, basically, until they start missing payments on that credit card too. So I would advise you, if that's the case, I would advise you that maybe you want to remove yourself if those kinds of things are going on. You want to remove yourself from that particular credit card, and you can do so anytime, and you do not need their permission to do so. You can call XYZ credit card company and tell them you want to be removed as an authorized user from that. How does that impact your credit? It's going to negatively impact your credit because you got it to help you with your credit, right? It was an old card. It had a perfect payment history. Still has a perfect payment history, as far as you know. Has a good credit utilization. All of those things are very helpful for you. However, having a missed payment or several missed payments is more detrimental to you than those other things as well. So if you need to get off that card, you need to jump off that card, then do so. As an alternative, you're not obligated to, you're not financially obligated to, and there's nothing legally that can be done to you if you're an authorized user and they don't make those payments. However, if you want to, depending on what your relationship is with this person or whatever, you can decide to make that payment on the credit card. If you know that your friend, your mother, your aunt, whoever, your boo, whoever card you're on is struggling and they may not be able to make that payment, you can volunteer to go ahead and make that payment and keep it up to date. Keep it up to date, right? Keep that payment history on it until they get back on their feet or until it's paid off or whatever it is. And that'll help you save your credit, save your credit as well and continue on. So it's always a possibility, something that you can do for sure. Another thing that you can do as far as building your credit without incurring debt, a credit builder loan at a credit union. Yes, again, I know you're saying to yourself, here you go again. It sounds a whole bunch like a credit card to me, where I'm going to incur some interest because the word loan is in this. Well, in a credit builder loan, especially at a credit union, listen to me, especially at a credit union, is it debt? It's debt, but not really at a credit union. These loans are more like a forced way of saving, making you, or you're making yourself, because you're going to go in there and apply for it, you're making yourself